Hello, welcome back to my, what do you call it? My demo here. And last video I ran about an hour. Didn't realize I would run that far. So I'll go ahead and run this one about an hour as well. Actually, it was about an hour and 10 minutes, plus whatever it was for the how to save section. Okay, last we left, I had started going on the attack with the knight, who has most of her powers. And I had stomped a ghoul infestation and done some switcheroos with the tamer and the sylph. Now I could use this bonus action during my turn to draw a map card and get +1 to rolls for the remainder of this turn, but I don't think I'm going to do that just yet. Maybe later. Now it's the necromancer's turn. So first things first, there are no quests, so we don't add any quest time markers, which I forgot to do last time, until after. I got his quest destroyed right away, so that was a thing. So now, roll. 3. Let's see. You do not detect anybody. Where do you go from 3? You go into the village, where the knight is. Interesting. Okay. And let's see what I did decrease that already. The knight's going to have a simple turn this round. Okay, the village has crows. I'm not familiar with what crows do. I think they're from one of the expansions that wasn't around when it started. Oh, okay. They have an end of turn effect. Fail and lose 2 secrecy. If you attack them and fail, you lose 1 secrecy. Which is funny because you lose a secrecy just to attack a blight. You don't lose a secrecy to attack a quest, fortunately. That is good. Okay. By the way, not all the answers to quests are actions like this. Some of them are other things. That is the necromancer's turn. Okay, so the tamer is running with 2 active pets. I think the tamer could still use some extra powers. Okay. Okay. I am, however... I'm going to go ahead and search again with the scouts. Still reckless. The Valkyrie is probably going to travel. I'm trying to decide whether or not ordering matters. The knight's going to activate her oath, and the tamer is going to travel. I don't think timing matters, so I'll just start with the scout. Twist of Fate. This could be bad. +1 to all rolls for the rest of this turn, or -1 to a minimum of 1 on all rolls for the rest of the turn. How many dice do I roll? 1. Take the highest. Don't have a power that adds to... I do not have a power that adds to event rolls. So, 3. She's at -1 this turn. So that's going to change my decision. Since she's going to be searching at 1 die. There's still a good chance, 5 out of 6, that she'll get something. So yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. And you get nothing. Of course. Greed comes to my end. Okay. So the scout stays where she is at secrecy 7. She's undetectable. The Valkyrie's going to go to here. Go up to secrecy 4. And that is... Oh, I have to do an event with her first. because the event might change what she ends up doing. Since it's really easy, I'm just going to... Oh dear. An Aurora. Gain 1 grace. Spend 2 secrecy or exhaust all your powers. Your turn is done. So, going to gain 1 grace. What happens is, an aurora of holy energy envelops the hero, which draws attention to her from the necromancer. I am going to exhaust all my powers, and then I'm going to spin the Soothing Lyre. To unexhaust, to refresh all powers, which will also give the scout hers. Kind of makes me wish the scout still had her turn, but oh well. I am still going to travel to gain 1 secrecy. There we go. That is your turn done. Okay. The knight I'll have go next. The knight's secrecy goes down by 1 because the necromancer is there. If her secrecy hits 0 while he is there, he will attack her. And she runs into a Dream Eater. Okay, so she can fight at 5 or elude at 2. I'm going to go ahead and elude at 2 for a 4+. As soon as I can get it. Here we go. You successfully elude. Just barely. So there's that. And then going to activate your Oath of Defense. So now you gain 1 grace at the start of each of your turns. But she cannot leave the village until there are no blights at the village. Okay. And her secrecy is 5 right now. Okay, the Tamer has to do an event. That's Renewal. Renewal causes the deck to be reshuffled. There are apparently powers that will cancel event cards. Even powers that cancel event cards cannot cancel Renewal. It's saying from distant lands, but it's actually got all the events from all the expansions in there. You push R. You can also pick it up and do this. I just find that very cumbersome, so I just like pressing the R. Okay. It's like pushing R. Okay, patrols for the Tamer. The darkness is still less than 14. We are at 6. So, get to elude or fight. Now, this is an interesting thought. Okay. Yeah. I am going to go ahead and do stalk and unleash both my boar and my sylph. So I fight with a base of 1. I can't use the skewer even though it has the Scion Stone because you can only use 1 tactic, and stalk is a tactic. I get +3 for the boar, so that's 4. I get +1 for the sylph, so that's 5. If the sylph die rolls a 6, I get a search. So, because I have to set it as a different one, here we go. So if the green die is a 6, I get a search. Well, that's awesome. Okay, let's search the mountains. Plus, I obliterate those patrols. They did not see that coming. Now, however, both my pets are. I get a key. I get a new mystery. Pray for guidance. It's at the monastery. It's permanent. Trying times can test man's faith, but also forge it anew. Those who shut themselves in quiet places and listen carefully may emerge with a new wisdom. Plus 2 clues if your grace increases by 2 or more from a single prayer action. Well, I think I know what I'm going to have the Valkyrie do for a little bit. Okay. And what's the base clues you start with from that? 2. So clues go up 2 to 5. Probably need to start getting more mysteries. Okay. Now. I could move stuff around. Oh, I forgot to handle the crows. She had to do one more fight. An elude. She cannot fight it. She has to elude it. I forgot that for her end of round. She eluded it just fine. Okay. So, I have to decide the tamer's action. I can't use perform because I already activated everything. Okay. Activating the board would be good to try to set what kind of things he could do, but it's really wide onto which direction he'll go. He could even come straight to me. He could hit anywhere. I think I'm going to travel, because I want to power her up a little. And that'll increase her secrecy back up to 5. Okay. Yours is a 4. Yours is a 7. You're not getting detected. Yours is a 5. Okay. Necromancer die. Well, first... 7. Yeah, time to start hitting. I might want to send the scout down to the ruins. There's things there to fight, though. That might not be it. 4. You don't detect anybody. Where do you go when you roll 4? Go to the castle. That's unfortunate. I think they're still going to end up staying. They have pretty good secrecy still. Okay, so the castle gets spies. Ooh, really? Really? Spies, you don't evade. They just cause you to lose 1 secrecy if you stay around them. So there's that. Okay. The knight cannot move or she'll break her oath. She has to defend this place, which means... oh, she gains a grace, though. She is going to attack the shroud. She has to. She can't attack the crows first. She has to attack the shroud first because the shroud prevents other things from being destroyed until it's gone. There is a board-wide version of the shroud called the Nexus, which says that you can't destroy the Nexus. You can't, when the Nexus is out, you can't destroy lights that are on other locations. I suppose the worst possible thing would be on that regard is if the Nexus and the Shroud were in the same place, you had to attack the Shroud and then the Nexus. And meanwhile, you couldn't get any other lights. It would be kind of bad. Okay. So, our turn again. Huh. What do I want to do? If I activate, I'm going to go with the scout first, I think. First things first, the necromancer is there, so the scout goes down 1 secrecy to 6, and then I draw the event. Because the necromancer doesn't know precisely where the scout, doesn't know the scout is here actually, because he didn't detect anybody, he just went to the castle. Forbidden treasure. This could be very useful. I'm going to lose 1 grace. She doesn't have much grace to start. 4. Not a 6. Vanishing dust. That's useful. Vanishing dust. If you have an elude that you fail, you can immediately turn it into a success. Okay. Mostly to help the tamer, but still a little greedy, I am going to activate treasure maps. Which means she is going to search on 3 dice. Now I get 3 cards and I get to choose one. Because I got 3 successes. But only searched once. Okay. They're upside down, of course. Huh. Supply cache, treasure chest. Supply cache would help me immediately. Treasure chest I could give to the tamer. I think, actually, though, I want to improve the scout a little bit more. Forgotten Shrine would give me +2 grace, which would more than recover the grace I just lost. But I can handle the grace that I lost so far. So I'm going to do the supply cache as my choice. Which means, first of all, that's the end of your turn. Draw the next 2 cards. Trailblazer. Awesome. Okay. Trailblazer is very useful. Shelters is also very useful. Trailblazer is more useful, especially with cross-country. So guess what I'm going to take? Trailblazer allows people to move into my adjacent hero to move into the scout square as a free action. So without using their main action. So you're going to get Trailblazer, which is going to be very useful. Okay. Next, I'm going to take care of the Tamer. The Tamer is also here. Is also going to go down to secrecy by 1. And we're going to see what she has to do. Upheaval. Remove all blights from your location and create an equal number of new blights. I'm fine with... Oh! You lost 1 secrecy due to spies. Sorry. Okay. Spies are going away, and they're replaced with spies. That's not quite an upheaval. Okay, so the Tamer is going to be in a bad situation. Don't have anything active. But I get +1 die to search because of the treasure maps being active. And get 1 success. I would have preferred to get 2 because I would have preferred to have a choice, but okay. And get a supply cache. Tame a Nightingale or Distraction. Distraction is very useful. It is really useful, and it doesn't exhaust. Oh my goodness. Each die roll is reroll. Each die is rerolled until... Woof! Woof! No, the Nightingale is better than the Distraction. I have Sprint active on everybody because of the Scion Stone, so I'm going to go with the Tame Nightingale. So you now have Sylph, the Boar, and the Nightingale. But we're going to be doing some traveling next with you two. Okay. I'm going to have you search the swamp after an event. Tracker. Fight it for 4, but you lose 1 secrecy, or elude for 5 to no effect. And if I lose 2 secrecy. I might have you search, or I might have you sprout wings. Okay. Fight or elude are both 2 for you because Scion Stone on the sprint. I'm going to fight. I'll handle losing the secrecy. I could have eluded. So, she kills the tracker, which exposes her a little bit. And then I'm going to search the swamp. Do I have any bonuses to search it? I do not. It's probably not the best option, but here we go. I succeeded. Let's see if I get an epiphany. I do not get an epiphany. I do get a Tome of Retraining. Do I want to use a Tome of Retraining? Tome of Retraining is a respec. I could give it to somebody else. What I could also do is I could discard one of these. Put it, actually not discard, put it back on the bottom. And then draw 2 more, which I get to keep. I don't want to remove Vigorous Spirit, even though I will unlikely to get up to the default after this. It's very hard to get up to your default without taking a hero out of the fight for a while. But I'm planning on having you somebody go back to the monastery to do prayer for that too. Elusive cheat is too useful. Sprout is really useful. I'm going to go ahead and drop the Vigorous Spirit. No, I'm going to drop the Elusive Spirit. Because if he finds us, at least I have lots of ways to keep us alive. At the current moment, because of cheat death, the Valkyrie is basically Valkyrie has to be... Oh, wow. Everybody... Okay. The Valkyrie has to be killed before anybody else can. Okay. Or that card has to be... All heroes may exchange items if they were in the same location. That's really useful. Activate when you suffer a wound. Deactivate. All heroes except you gain 1 grace up to their default and refresh their powers. Those are both very useful cards. The Valkyrie's very good at empowering the board, basically. Okay, do I want to do the Tamer? The Tamer's already gone, so it's the Knight. As Twilight. Compared to Darkness, which is still less than 14. Exhaust a power or lose 1 secrecy. I don't care if she loses secrecy right now. So there. Okay. I am going to attack the Shroud. Oh, I also gained 1 grace. Because the Oath of Defense doesn't list a maximum you can go up to. No, it goes up to default. Oh, that means she can't go above her 6. She's at +1 default because of Vigorous Spirit, so I'm glad I did not remove it. Okay. Well, it wouldn't have dropped to 5 anyway. But she doesn't go up in grace, but because she's at her default already. That's the maximum her oath can give her. But she is going to attack this round, so when you attack a blight, you lose 1 secrecy. I am going to attack it with Reckless Abandon because I've got Oath of Defense. I have to attack the Shroud. Now, I have a Consecrated Sword. I have Reckless Abandon. I have 5 dice. That's the sylph die. I need to get the tamer somewhere where she can activate all her pets again. Roll. Oh. Oh. The reckless abandon causes her to lose 1 grace. That was close. The shroud would have done a wound, but she beat it, so the shroud is destroyed. There are 2 liches in play. She now has to deal with the crows. She has to elude or lose 2 secrecy. She successfully eluded. Okay. In all likelihood, the necromancer is going to be charging down her door pretty soon. Okay. I'm not going to search with the Valkyrie again. I'm going to be doing sprout wings in preparation going to the monastery, I think. Okay. You get to move because I want to get some clues.